Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It is Drew here, and today I'm doing a video that has been highly requested. I actually mentioned it over on my Instagram story the other day, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see an updated tattoo collection video, and it was literally, like, I got so many DMs being like, please let us know, because I used to post, like, every time I got a tattoo, I would always post an Instagram photo of my new tattoo, but after a while, I kind of stopped posting them, and then a lot of you guys were like, what's that one on your arm? What's that one on your underarm? Where's that one on your foot? Like, so today I thought I would sit down and share with you guys an updated tattoo collection video. Also make sure to talk about like why I got them, the pain level of it, who did it, all that sort of stuff. And I'm gonna go over the ones that I've talked about in my first tattoo collection video and then also my current ones. So let's just get started. I don't know where to start. Maybe I'll start from my right arm going down and then we'll go up my left arm here, because as you guys can see, there are like lots of just like random ones everywhere. That's kind of my favorite way to get tattoos. I just kind of think of them as stickers that I'm putting on my arms, and I definitely want to fill up both of my arms completely filled with like just like everything kind of conjoining it in itself, if that makes sense. I'll probably pop up a couple of inspo photos of kind of what I want my arms to look like in the future. We're gonna start up here at the top, and guys, I'm gonna just let you know right now that more than, I think about 10 of my tattoos are from the same artist. His name is Bodies Need Rest on Instagram. I featured him in my last video too. He's absolutely incredible, and he does all my work now, so anything that I get from now going forward is probably gonna be from him, unless it's like a random like event or something that's giving out a tattoo. Or not my first one, but one of the ones that he did here is this nice little sparrow. It has a little kind of flower coming out of its mouth, and the tattoos that he does on me, I really like them because they almost have like this faded effect, but they are not faded. Like, they kind of have like this vintage, almost worn in look immediately, and it stays like that. I've had tattoos from him for, this butterfly one is one of the first ones that he actually did on me, and I think I've had this one for about 2 years and it still looks amazing. But as you can see, this sparrow, I really love this tattoo. One of my favorite ones, and I thought it just kind of placed perfectly above the mom tattoo I got. I wanted kind of more of a modernized, kind of like sailor mom tattoo that is very, I guess, kind of like an iconic tattoo in general. So I got the word mom inside of the heart with the banner. It's just like a super simple line art, so kind of jumping from that one to this one. There is absolutely no meaning behind this tattoo. I just liked it. In my tattoos personally, I really like a lot of nature elements, so you're gonna see a lot of like flowers, butterflies, birds, things along the lines of that, and those are probably what I'm gonna continue getting in the future as well. The mom was just one because I really love my mom. As most of you guys know, I'm obsessed with her, so I had to get a mom tattoo for sure, and it's just literally a simple little heart with a banner on top of it. This one of course did hurt a little bit more. I'd probably say this one was like a 5 out of 10. I personally think I have a little bit of a higher pain tolerance when it comes to tattoos, so this one wasn't too bad. This one was definitely not bad at all, probably like a 3 or something. It was also pretty quick and pretty simple. And then when I go down, I have these two tattoos here. Now this little rose that you can kind of see, this tattoo was my first ever tattoo that I got, and this one was in Paris. I actually got it with a couple of friends while we were in Paris at an event. It was super simple, and I'm gonna make sure to put the name of the artist on the screen. I cannot remember his Instagram off the top of my head, but I'll make sure to put it on there for you guys in case you are in the Paris area and want a tattoo. So this is just like a little simple rose. It's one of the ones that you had to pick off of a sheet because it was literally from an event. So I picked this off of a sheet and just went with it. I thought it was cool. I wanted it. He kind of tilted a little bit. And that was kind of my first tattoo that ever got me into wanting more of them. So this one here is actually kind of the upper half of a man. So it has like a button-down shirt, and then it has this really big scribbled head kind of shape, and this is kind of a play on the head in the clouds tattoo I've seen a lot of people get. I really like it, and I found it on Pinterest actually. I'm gonna try to find the original image to share with you guys and give credit to the actual artist of this piece. I kind of like this piece because it kind of is myself. Like, I always have the most craziest thoughts, like mind racing. I have a lot of anxiety, so it's just kind of portrays me as a person. Like, just my head is always going in 86 million directions at once, so I wanted a tattoo to kind of portray that, and I really liked how this one looked. I had it pinned for years and years, I think since high school, so it was just one I always knew I kind of wanted if I was ever to get into tattoos. And this one actually did kind of hurt a lot. Like, I swear he went around and around with that tattoo gun so many times. I was like, oh my gosh, you've gone over the same spot like 98 million times, and it's not his fault at all, but it just like started to hurt towards the end. I was like, this is actually really painful. So this was probably like an 8 out of 10. The body portion wasn't too bad, but just this like scribbled on area right here was not very fun. I did not like the way that felt. And then moving down, I actually have two kind of phrases on my arms here. This is actually a stamp from a bar I went to the other night, so disregard that. So this was one of my first tattoos as well. This is probably the third one I got, and this is one I always always knew I wanted. It says smiling on the inside. This, I just love this because I've always gotten messages on my Instagram and on my social medias and on my Facebook asking why I never smile in photos. And I feel like I'm a very genuinely happy person on the inside, but I never really portray it in pictures. Like, I'm never like in my photos, you know? I always am very like, I wanted the smiling on the inside just because I always am smiling on the inside. I feel like this definitely portrayed me. I love the way that this looks and sounds. I wanted it to be like a micro type, which is kind of something that the guy that I go to is getting really popular for, is his microscopic typing. Like, it literally looks like he typed this on with a typewriter. So I really like this tattoo, and then I decided to get another word right there, which I love the way that this kind of looks, how it's kind of like perfectly straight, and then there's another one right here kind of creating this 90-degree angle. So this one is kind of a fun one. This one was one that I just always kind of said / written down, and when I was thinking of my next tattoo idea I wanted to get, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this phrase here, which is kind of a funny one. And whenever I would do anything when I was younger, I would always tell my friends, like, I don't know, let me ask my mom. I don't know, let me ask my mom. And even when I got older, like, my friends would be like, do you want to go to the bar tonight? And I'm like, I don't know, let me call my mom and ask. Like, just as a joke. It was always an inside joke with me and my friends. So I was like, I'm gonna get, I don't know, let me ask my mom on my arm. That way, when people ask me questions, I can literally be like that to them, you know? I thought it was really cute. It's kind of quirky. Another thing with my mom in there, because I really like her a lot, so I had to add that little touch there as well. So I don't know, let me ask my mom. It's kind of just like a punny tattoo in a way. It's nothing too serious, but it just kind of has more of an inside joke meaning to it, and I really like it. And I would have to say that these two tattoos here were very painless. I couldn't really feel anything. I love the placement of this one, and I actually do want something kind of in the middle of my hand here, and then maybe continuing down onto my finger here on the side. Like, I don't know, I love hand tattoos as well. So moving over to my left arm, sorry, my camera had ran out of space. So moving over to my left arm here, I actually have this LA tattoo on my hand. This is my only hand tattoo, I would say. I wouldn't really consider this one a hand tattoo, but this one, again, did not hurt at all. And the reason I got this was actually because it is from the lead singer of Lonnie, the band, which I really love them a lot. The guy, Paul, who is a lead singer, he has it on his middle finger right here, and I saw it in a album art piece or an Instagram photo or something. I really loved the way that it looked, and I actually live in LA as well, so I have no plans on moving anywhere. I really love LA, and I plan on staying here for quite a while, so I wanted to kind of get a little LA looking piece, and everyone's like, is that for the Dodgers? And I'm like, no, it's not. So this is my little LA tribute on my hand. And then right here, this is actually my most recent tattoo that I got. It's the most current one in my collection. It is actually a needle and thread, and the thread is super faint. I don't know if you can see that, but I love the way that it looks. Like, I think it looks so delicate and cool. It's just kind of just on my arm. And there's a needle here, and this is just to portray my love for DIY and crafting. I wanted something that wasn't like a pair of scissors or like a hammer or something that kind of just emulated what I do kind of as my everyday life. I love making things, I love sewing things, I love embroidering, I love crafting, just creating things in general is a huge interest of mine. So I wanted something that was a little bit creative, so I ended up getting this right here. And then I also have this phrase here, which a lot of you guys are probably like, what is that? And I also burnt myself, so don't look at that. This one is kind of hard to show on camera. It actually spirals around my entire arm over onto this side, so you can kind of see how it starts here and then it goes all the way around. This is a Frank Ocean lyric from his song Ivy. It says, we'll never be those kids again. It's from his song Ivy, which is one of my favorite songs ever by Frank Ocean. I am obsessed with Frank Ocean. I think his music is really amazing. I always just really liked that line in that song. Whenever he would sing it with the kind of the words around it that kind of made up the story of the song, I just always really liked the way that it sounded. So I ended up getting We'll Never Be Those Kids Again on my arm right here. And I just did it in that kind of Drake Never Was the Same, or whatever that album was, Nothing Was Ever the Same kind of a font, which is kind of handwritten. I actually hand drew this myself and then kind of switched up all the letters, made them different sizes, and made it warp around my arm on Photoshop. And then I had a tattoo artist that came over to my friend's house do it, and that was the end of that one. One of the first tattoos that I got was this moth, or this butterfly right here. You guys have probably seen this one the most on my channel because it's the most prominent one. I feel like that's always featured on me, and a lot of you guys ask about this. This was also done by Bodies Need Rest. He's just amazing. This is a really cool moth. I just literally found it on Google. This tattoo was, I'd probably say, a 6 out of 10 in terms of pain. This was my first ever tattoo that had shading in it. So that was kind of like the first time I ever experienced the shading needles and things like that, but it wasn't too bad, and I really like the way that this turned out. I think honestly in the future, if I wanted to get more tattoos on my arms and I just needed filler inners, I would put a whole ton of moths because I really love this piece so much, and I would just do different styles and different types. I really think that it looks really cool and very like apothecary-esque, which is also a huge love of mine. So this moth is one of my favorite ones as well. Moving into one of my all-time favorites is this camera here. This camera was again done by Bodies Need Rest. He does all of them. He's so freaking good, but this camera is insane. I don't really shoot with these style of cameras. Of course, I use more DSLRs nowadays, but I was not gonna get some Canon T3i tattooed on my arm, like absolutely not. So I was like, I'm gonna get a camera that has a little bit of a vintage vibe to it, but not too vintage. I just wanted something that kind of had that vintage nostalgic vibe, but still portrayed that I love taking photos, because I absolutely love photography, videography. As many of you guys know, it's been a huge love of mine for so long. So I wanted just a camera to represent that, and that is why I got this one. He did such an amazing job on this, and it's one of my most complimented tattoos on my body. Like, people are always like, how did someone do that? Like, it really is crazy. And he even told me afterwards that this tattoo was on the more challenging side, because it's literally composed of circles and lines, which are some of the hardest things to do when you're tattooing, just because you have to make those perfect or they don't look perfect. And then I actually have a number 24 back here, which was another one of my earlier tattoos, I would say. And I got this because my birthday is July 24th, but my grandma, who passed away probably like 10 years ago actually, her birthday was also July 24th. We had the same exact birthday. I was super, super close to her, and I really loved her a lot. So I got this 24 tattoo kind of in remembrance of her, and we shared the same birthday. So I thought 24 was just a perfect number to kind of put on my arm right there. And I love the placement. It's right above my elbow, and now it's right underneath my largest piece on my arm. And this is a piece on the back of my arm, which I guess we're kind of through with the 24. This piece back here is one that I actually kind of want to add to. I look at it with my shirt down and it looks kind of like a ball sack. I'm not gonna lie, like, that's a ball sack. Is it not? That's a ball sack. But it's actually like a full-on heart. I've always loved anatomical heart tattoos. I think they are so, so cool. So I wanted to have one of my own, and I just got it on a larger scale, and then I actually had flowers put on the top of it, kind of growing out of the top. And he did an incredible job on this, but I just think that the heart kind of overpowers the flowers, and I want to add more flowers, or just more of like a cutesy element to kind of more of a grungy, almost unsettling image, if that makes sense. Like, not everyone wants to look at this, so I kind of want to add like some form of like maybe dripping flower vines or something on this. I'm not sure what. I just want to add a little bit more to where it kind of just fills in the space a bit more. This tattoo was also pretty painful. It was my largest one, and it took like 4 hours, I think, so it just took a while. And after a couple of hours, like, the pain just gets kind of bad, so I'd probably say this one was like an 8 out of 10 as well. And then, guys, the only other tattoos I have, which are kind of going to be hard to show, but I'm going to show you them anyways right here, are these ones on my ankles. Can you see those? I'm literally lifting my legs up, but these are my 2 other tattoos. Those are the only other tattoos I actually have on my body. And one of them says, "Don't follow me," and the other one says, "I'm lost too." And I saw some girl get this on a tattoo Instagram page, and I just thought it was a very Tumblr and cool. So I got this one a long time ago, like 3 years ago or something like that, and I just was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute in Tumblr. But I should have probably gotten it a little bit larger because it's pretty small, and hers was like stacked. It was like, "Don't follow me," like really big, and the other one says like, "I'm lost too," really big on the other ankle. I love it. I think it's cool. It's actually the same exact Georgia font I use on all of my microtype tattoos, and this one's just a little bit bigger so you can kind of read it, but it's not too big, but I wish it was a little bit bigger. So guys, that was my finished tattoo tour, if you will, my tattoo collection. Sorry if I was very scatterbrained in that video. I feel like there's so much you can say about each tattoo, and like where you got it, and when you got it, and why you got it, and how you got it, and the pain tolerance, and this and that. So I kind of blabbered a whole ton, and I'm gonna have to cut out a lot. So I hope this video was entertaining to watch, and it gave you guys a little look at the tattoos that I do have on my body. And if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I think that's really all. If you guys are not already, follow me on Instagram. I post all the time over. And if you guys are not already, make sure to follow me over on Instagram. I post outfit photos and just like fashion inspo pictures over there all the time. My Instagram is I'm Drew Scott. And I also post my tattoo updates. Whenever I get them, I like to post them over on my stories. So stay tuned for more tattoos coming very, very shortly, because I do want more for sure. And I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.